firing up from the valley floor and through the mist. It looked like lightning. That musket spouting flame up through the fog they came. I will not lie.
All right, you guys, the Intelligence Report. We're back. Mark and Don, broadcast, or rather, brought to you in this hour by the Micro Effect Broadcast Network. Hey, I particularly like that story we just heard about the little tin soldier. You know, there's a moral in that. If you didn't catch it, the moral of that is, you know, what you are cannot be avoided. Again, what you are cannot be avoided. Now, before the break, Mark, we were talking about soot in the throats and the indicator there. Now, there's another indicator that soot on the throat of your empty brass will be an indicator of. It's called balloting. Now, balloting is, think about this, you guys, when the gases start to expand, they start to push that bullet forward. Now, if the brass only moves that little bit, just a few thousandths of an inch to expand because of the gases expanding inside, it acts kind of, Skip used to call it like a head gasket, Mark, like a sealer, so to speak. But as that bullet's moving forward to the lands, if the throat of the brass expands too much, there's nothing in the back of the rear portion, you know, third of the bullet as it's moving forward to keep it moving down the center of the bore. To keep it moving down the center of the bore, the center of the bullet on the center of the bore line. And now it's not going to move 15 degrees off in there. If that happens, you're going to find some type of catastrophic failure. But that tenth of a minute balloting inside there, that instant that the bullet starts to move, is an important part of final accuracy. Internal ballistics, you know, this is what we're talking about now. So if you're seeing soot on the edges, outside edges of your brass, you try not to cut the wall. Now, you might have to just take that last 100 pieces of brass you've blueprinted, and to the best of your ability, but don't we get better at what we do all the time? By paying attention. This is how you get better at what you do all the time, and you might have to regulate that brass to shorter range work in the future, because, you know, that 10-inch group at 1,000 yards, and by this addition alone, eliminating the indication of, you know, spent gases, carbon, on the outside of the neck of your brass is going to greatly increase your accuracy, because it will eliminate balloting in the bore. Now, you want that bullet to go down the bore as straight as possible so that there's no tumble as soon as it leaves. That indexing, once it leaves in the external ballistics, can, if the bullet is tumbling, create a different path. So this goes back to something that happened inside the bore is affecting what's going on outside the bore. Internal ballistics greatly affect external ballistics. But, Mark, you kind of drove me into that by the conversation, and I had to bring that to the table. You guys, I'll be quiet now.
Well, no, the thing is that, again, one of the things that was pointed out here, and we've emphasized this before, spares and extras. Now, one of the things touched on is a spare barrel, tying in the idea that we are going to see progressive wear and degradation of the arm, which will change accuracy. Of course, we want to hit our targets. We are not trying to scare. We are trying to impact and knock down an aggressor. So, and we want to impact him in a very special way, like harshly. Not going to be impact as in shock him with discussion. Okay, oh my goodness, that was an amazing fact. I was really, truly impacted by that one. No, it's going to be more like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 240 grain ball rounds hitting and impacting one after the other to create progressive trauma, okay, shock trauma. Well, we want to make sure those stay tight, and again, the whole idea that we understand how the wear takes place on the weapon and what to look for, because you have to do constant inspection and testing of your arms, especially if you're using them a lot. A lot of people are using only a handful of weapons in their inventory for training of everybody in the family. Well, guys, what's happening is this. You have a whole bunch of weapons that are still really tight, which is good, But you've put progressive wear on one or two firearms, say one or two AKs, one SKS, one or two 45s or revolvers or whatever. You've got to look at the idea that you want to keep being able to service those weapons. So spare parts with revolvers, even to the point where you actually have a spare cylinder and a spare barrel for replacement. Now, those have to be tuned and calibrated back in, but it can be done, and it's not as complicated as you might think. But remember, the thing we've talked about many times is patience. We don't break out the grinder, the electric grinder. There, I'm all done. It's finished. It looks kind of close.
It fits now.
Yeah. Okay, I took off a little extra. Maybe I should take off some. Oh, shoot. Wow, this doesn't fit anymore.
It's even better. It goes together so much faster.
Well, no, that's not what I wanted. So again, patience and a very soft hand when tuning firearms as an armorer. And again, you need to do research. There's plenty of information out there. Now, the test to failure issue.